What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video of me yapping in front of the camera for about 10 minutes. Hopefully, we'll see how long this video will be. Today's video will be about what I did yesterday. I know, right? So entertaining. But yesterday I woke up at like around 9 o'clock to my aunt because I had to take her to the hospital for like the oncology or something. Basically, it's just me and her living at my house right now, and she doesn't have anyone to take her, so I had to be the one to take her. And I just woke up and I'm like tired as shit, and we're driving and she's like fucking bitching at me. I'm sorry. I love her, but she's just nagging me, but just some bullshit. And I'm just like tired. I just woke up and she's just like telling me about some bullshit that I gotta work on. I'm just like, bruh. And then like we go to the hospital and like there's like a bunch of different, it's low-key like a university, which is where I'm at right now. I'm at Sac State University, but but that's not where she's getting checked up at. She's at this medical facility somewhere, and it's like basically like a university, and there's like a bunch of buildings, and she's trying to get to like building C. That's her building C. And we get there and like we're just like lost as shit. We're just like, damn, bro, where the hell is this building? And she's like crashing out on me because I don't know where this building is. I'm like, how the hell am I supposed to know where the building is? So I'm just like, okay, like I'll just probably like go around and I'll look for directions. So I walked up to this person and they're like, bruh, like I don't know. I was like, okay. And then I see this doctor who's got like the whole white, doctor suit. I was like, okay, like this guy's a doctor, or at least he looks like one. I'm like, he definitely probably knows, where things are. And he's on the phone, and I just like come up to him, I'm like, hey, like, do you know where this building is? He's like, I don't know where it is. I was like, what? Like, how do you not know? Like, you're a doctor. I mean, I guess doctors help patients. They're probably not the best, but I thought he'd know. So that was like, a shock to me. And then I see this lady, and she's like, oh, are you having like trouble with where everything's are? I was like, yeah. Can you help me where building C is? And she's like, oh, it's right over there. So like and I see like the building, and it just has the fat letter C on it, and it was like basically like right there the entire time. And I was like, bruh. But I was also like, bruh, like that doctor, I was like, that building was like right there, and he didn't even know where it was. So I was just like, what the fuck? I was like, come on, some doctors, man, y'all so smart, but you don't even know where things are. Anyways, it's besides the point. I go to inside the building, and we're trying to find the oncology center, and we go there. And I'm keep in mind, I'm like tired as fuck. Like I just woke up. I don't usually wake up at like 9 o'clock. I have like the worst sleep schedule ever. So like I'm tired as hell. And I see like an open spot, and then right over there I see like this old black dude. And I was just like, all right, I'm gonna just post up right there. And I was just gonna like take a nap. And I sit down, and I'm like, I close my eyes, like I'm about to sleep. And then my aunt, she just finished talking to like the front desk people, and she sits down next to me. And the old black dude, he was like, hey, you two, you guys are definitely mother and son. He definitely your son. And I was like, no, I'm not. I'm her aunt, or she's my aunt. I'm her nephew, actually. And he was like, basically the same thing. Which is kind of right, because I call her Ma in Vietnamese. I'm Vietnamese, by the way, and basically that just means mom. And she basically is like damn near my second mom, because like I lived with her my entire life. But he probably thought that because I was wearing a mask, and I was wearing my glasses that day, and she was also wearing a mask, and she had her glasses. My aunt always wears glasses, so like I could, you know, the resemblance is uncanny, and I'm also I am related to her, so I didn't, you know, I wasn't offended at all, you know. And then I originally was just supposed to take a nap right there in the waiting room, but I ended up just chopping it up with this old black dude in the waiting room for like the entire time my aunt was getting her her shit done. And it kind of reminded me of this Key and Peele skit with like these old like magical black dudes who have like insight or whatever. They say some like thematic shit. If you know, you know. If you know, I know. If you know, you knew. You know, you know. Fuck, I can barely speak. But yeah, he was just like talking to me like, yo, like what, like he's just asking about me, like what my major was, what do I go to school, and stuff like that. And this was right after the day I made the previous video about whatever bullshit. And I was like telling him like, oh yeah, like, you know, I'm going to school, but I always kind of wanted to make YouTube videos ever since I was a kid. And you know, like during the whole 2012 PewDiePie era. And I was just like, I don't know, as time went by, like I just felt myself like not having the drive. And I don't know, I feel like YouTube as a platform has changed back then. But I just told him like, you know what, I just did it. And he was like telling me like how like I'm young and like I have a gift or something. I kind of don't remember how that conversation went. And he was just talking to me about like, you know, like I have a gift or something. And like he I don't know, like I feel like because like I was like Asian or something, he was like talking to me about how like oh, like you're gonna be a doctor, huh? Like he was gonna tell me about that stuff. And I don't know, I feel like sometimes like when people don't really know me, they think I'm like this like, oh, like I'm really smart or something. They just have really like this like oh, like they expect me to be like this great person or whatever. And then it's kind of like because like I don't know, I feel like I don't really live up to these expectations. So I don't know if you understood me right there, but hopefully you understood what I'm trying to say. Not really good with using my words, but that's besides the point. The conversation with that dude was like, I don't know, it just like I felt like it opened my mind up about a bunch of things, even though I forgot mostly how it went. But I didn't forget the dude's name. His name was Tony. His name was Tony, and he has like hella kids. And I just really I just overshared a lot with him that day. And I feel like we were being kind of loud because like after the conversation was over, like this other old couple, they walked in and they were like, yo, like, you know, that guy was a really nice guy. And then I was like, yeah, now I'm about to be locked into another conversation with this other old couple. And that also made me think like, man, dude, like old people, they just don't give a fuck. That's what I really love about old people. Like they don't give a shit about anything, you know. I don't know why. It made me think about like, man, like why do I like give a shit? Like, you know, like before making this video, like I'm out in public right now at Sac State, and I was just like, man, bro, like I'm gonna look weird, like I'm just sitting here just talking to myself. But then I was thinking about these old people, and like old people, they don't give a fuck about what other people think about them. I really think that's really sick. I don't know, I'm trying to think of a cool thing to say, but I think that shit's sick. Like in one of my classes, Math 101, combinatorics, this is this old dude, I think his name's like Bert or something, and this dude just yaps all the time in class. He always asks the professor like about the subject. He doesn't give a shit what other people think, and I find that really, really sick, you know. And I was like, man, like when I'm older, I'm probably not gonna give a shit like that. So like, why should I, you know, while I'm young, why should I, you know, wait till I'm old to not give a shit when I could just not give a shit right now, you know? And then after that, I man, this video is actually gonna be a lot longer than I thought. Already 10 minutes went by, and I'm talking about old people and shit. And after that, I took my aunt to the car dealership, and not the car dealership. I had to get my car fixed, so I had to go get my brakes fixed because that shit was just fucking like that shit was just like making weird ass noises. I'm just like fuck, like I'm just like one of these days like my car's just gonna explode. So I had to get that taken care of. Turns out there was a whole lot of other shit that was going on with my car. And then also I plan to go like skate with the homies today, and like they're like calling me and texting me and shit, and I found out one of the homies, he's also having shit going wrong with his car, and he doesn't even got a ride to come kick it. So I'm just like fuck, bro, like I'm just like damn, everyone's having it's not just me that's having car problems. And then keep that in mind, by the way. I went to, where did I go next? Oh yeah, I went to, my aunt had to go get her like her mail, her food stamps from like from the mail, but she doesn't live where I live, so I had to drive all the way to like her apartment to go get it. And then when we got there, they didn't have the food stamps there. And I'm just like, bruh. I was like, and basically that was like the entire plan. It was like take her to the hospital, and then get my car fixed, and then go to her apartment to get her food stamps. But her food stamps weren't there, so I'm just like, bruh. So I ended up, she's like, oh, Andrew, you gotta take me to the place to get the food stamps. And I'm just like, bruh. I was like, fine. I was like, okay. I was like, I love my aunt, and she does a lot for me. So I was like, okay, I'll go, And then I thought it was gonna be like a little short mission, but when we got to the place where you're supposed to get the food stamp, what's it called? Like the Human Resource Center, something like that. It was like the DMV. It was like basically like the DMV, and they give you like a number and a letter, and you gotta like sit there and wait. And I swear I was there the entire time. It was so long, and I was just like, oh, and I was like, bro, like I gotta hang out with my friends later or whatever. I'm just like, man, this is taking so much time. But honestly, I was tripping. I wasn't gonna hang out with them until like a lot later on. And while I was there, like I was just like so bored, but there was just like the people around me, there was just like there's so many kids, dude. There were so many kids. Like I don't know why, like fucking poor people, including me, by the way. That's why we're there, because we're fucking poor too. So these other poor people, they just got a whole bunch of kids, and they're just running around going, ah. I was just like, oh my god, bro. Like at first I was like super annoyed, but like me and my aunt, we were sitting next to each other, and we were just like, man, look at these kids. Like, look at these other people's kids. And this is one girl, bro. She's just fucking like, she kept rolling on the floor, like on the dirty ass floor, bro. And I was just like, oh my god, bro. And she just kept fucking around, bro. She's like going around the thing. She's like touching shit. She's like her little brother was like on a stroller. She almost like knocked him out of the stroller. I'm just like, bro. And I'm looking at her mom, and her mom isn't even doing anything. She's just like letting this shit slide. She's like, stop. Like, bro, like if it was me, if I was doing that shit, I would got my ass beat, bro. And she's a white mom, by the way. Sorry. Didn't mean to pull the race card, but I was like, bro. And then I don't know. And then after that, they just like they called her number, and then they left. And then I don't know why, but I was like, damn, bro, like I kind of like missed that she was gone. I was like, oh, that was really entertaining. Now I'm just gonna like go on my phone and just be bored. And then I sit there for like another like 30 minutes. I don't know, I was there for a long ass time. And there were, after the girl left, more kids come in, and they're like doing cartwheels and shit. And my aunt finally gets her shit like called, and then just for her to come back, and she's like, oh yeah, we gotta wait again. I'm just like, oh my gosh. And then there's this other kid, like he keeps throwing his fucking Enderman toy up, and his dad is like, stop. The kid just wouldn't stop. It just made me think, like, damn, bro, like probably having kids or trying to discipline your kids is probably so tough, because man, they're just off the fucking rockers, bro. And probably wait for another like 20 minutes probably. Sorry, that was gross. I have allergies, by the way. It's the middle of spring, and it just sucks. And then my aunt finally got her food stamps. I was so hyped, because I was just like, man, dude, like, if after all this shit, if she doesn't get her food stamps card, I'd be like a little pissed. But honestly, I wasn't even that upset in this, after, you know, at the end, than I was in the beginning, because I don't know, I kind of really enjoyed just like sitting there and just like observing like the people around me. It's fucking, it makes me sonder. Is that the word, sonder? When you like wonder what like other people are going through with their lives and shit. That's what I was thinking. And then yeah, I just took her home after that.